But to get around tooling, I think you have to start playing the short game, moving the ball around the block. You know, if it's a solid block without a split, you're going to have to tip over that block, and you're going to have to move the ball around in order to get away from tooling.
As that serve quite a bit short and into the bottom of the net. Substitutions now for the Rattlers, Shikatano and Jenna Paul coming in. 23-17. The Rattlers will need to be near perfect for the rest of the set. They can only make one more mistake. Good pass there by Martinez, but it looks like a double touch violation called on Shikatano. And now the Crimson Storm will be serving to take an advantage in the set count. Danny Chase with the serve. Jenna Paul able to get it down. So St. Mary's not quite done yet, but they're going to need to make quite the rally here. Grace, she'll head to the bench. It'll be Tori Estrada on to serve for the Rattlers. Good serve there out of Estrada. And 3 Rattlers hit the floor, but they're able to get the ball back over. And it looks like St. Mary's, they mistimed their jump there on the block, and it leads to a point for the Crimson Storm. 25-18, the same result as was the first set. St. Mary's now trails 2-1 here on the Rattler Network. And welcome back, everyone. 2-1. The count in sets in favor of Southern Nazarene University. The Crimson Storm able to take set number 3 by a score of 25-18. Remind you, Rattler fans, it's early on in the season, so of course if you're going to come out to a game, you need to make sure that you're sporting your Rattler swag. So be sure to check out rattlergear.com, where you can find all your favorite hats, shirts, replica jerseys, and a whole bunch more. Rattlergear.com. Kaylee, I was looking the other day. They had some new, very nice shirts in there. I think I'm going to pick myself up a volleyball shirt for certain.
Yeah, you know, I haven't been on Rattler Gear in a while, so I should probably go check out and see what kind of apparel they have. My wardrobe is mostly basketball apparel.
Oh, I wonder why.
I wonder why that is.
As Heft resoundingly puts that one down. And we talk about Heft. She kind of reminds me of just like a big hitter. She comes up there and it's going to be a home run, or, you know, sometimes she's not going to connect every single time, but she can really bring the boom, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, Heft is really, I would say, one of the main power hitters. You can always rely on her to put a ball down that's going to end a play. You know, you have some smart hitters that are going to place the ball to where the other team hopefully is not going to pick it up, but most of the time they do. And then you have a power hitter who hits to end the play.
As that one, good hustle out of the Crimson Storm. Holman now, she's sent back in the net, but Heft able to put it back over. Martinez covering a lot of ground there. Huber playing the short game. Here's Heft now. And that one overpowers Danny Chase. Heft, another one on the board here in the early goings of set number 4. Jenna Paul back to serve now for the Rattlers. Good pass right there. Paul, also a good pass. Here's Huber now. And Huber showing the power as well. St. Mary's, they're coming out swinging here in this 4th set. Here's Jenna Paul. And Martinez looked like a bit of a misplay right there. She just didn't get enough mustard on it, I suppose. Looking ahead in the schedule, volleyball, they're going to take on Texas Permian Basin. That'll be tomorrow. That is a Heartland Conference matchup. That'll be at home, so that's an important game. On September 10th, they'll be playing Our Lady of the Lake. That'll be another good matchup, San Antonio rivals. Then they'll head on a road trip. They'll go to play against St. Edwards, and then finish out the road trip against Texas A&M Kingsville. Here's Huber taking a swing. That one popped up nicely. And that one tipped by the Rattlers, but out of play, and we're tied up at 4 apiece now. Good serve there, but Huber, a nice pass, and Heft once again. She's just coming out on fire here. Slaughter will sub in for Holman. And Martinez back to serve. Good dig there by Martinez. Slaughter just fresh into the game. Heft now going with the right hand. Bell able to get to that one and just out of play. As St. Mary's now with the 2-point advantage. Here's Martinez serving once again. And that one blocked at the net. Slaughter and Heft able to combine. And St. Mary's just looking very strong at the net right now.
I think they're coming into this set with a lot of determination. They just dropped set 3, and I think they're really going to start fighting back and pushing it to 5 sets.
That one off the tape, but nicely dug out. Chickatano not quite able to handle that one, as the deficit will be reduced to 2. Here's Bell back to serve once again. Paul there, not able to handle a serve. It looked like it was a tough one, and it'll result in a point for the Crimson Storm. Here's Bell once again. Huber takes control this time. Huber with the swing, and the pancake coming out there, but the line judge saying that it hit the ground. You see a bunch of dropped jaws on the Crimson Storm side. They thought that that one didn't hit the floor. I just saw the replay. It looked awfully close.
Yeah, I think as a coach that's probably a call that I would question, but at this point you kind of have to move on and not dwell on the calls that the refs are making.
Grace reinserting into the game. Guthrie sends that one over on the second touch. And that one off of Huber's hands and out of play. Here's Jacobs serving now. Huber now, and she's able to get it down. 8-7, 9-7, I should say, now for the Rattlers. Here's Kelsey on the serve. And that one, I'm not sure if the Rattlers got a piece of it or if it was just into the tape. I think they announced Grace is getting the block. If so, good way to get into the game for the freshman. I think Martinez is telling her to loosen up right there. That's some senior leadership right there for you. I mean, and if you're a freshman, it's your first game, you kind of need that, right? Just to, hey, kind of loosen up, you know?
I mean, you can tell that Grace is a little bit tense right now. It's a completely new ball game. I mean, playing in high school, it's comfortable. Playing in college, it would seem that there's a lot more on the line. I can't imagine coming in as a freshman and playing with all the senior leadership on the court. I think there's a lot of pressure. With such a big senior class, they want their season to go as well as possible, make it to the conference tournament, win the conference tournament, and keep pushing down that postseason run. So I can imagine coming in as a freshman, you're going to have a lot of pressure from the seniors.
Guthrie and Holman not able to make the connection right there. And I think Martina, she's a good person to get that advice from, because Victoria came in as a freshman and played it herself.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Martinez and Huber are great leaders on the court. You know, they're basically playing all the way around, and they're that consistency that you see on the Rattler team. They've been playing together since their freshman year, and they've been able to kind of shape the freshman classes that come in after them.
Chickatano and Heft check back in. And I believe they caught a Rattler in the net. That's Heft. And so now the deficit has been reduced to 2. Danny Chase back to serve for the Crimson Sword. It's a short serve. Paul takes control. Heft, the big swinger once again. It's going to be a free ball for the Rattlers. Heft drills that one. And she hit that one so hard that it ricocheted off of 3 Crimson Storm players before it finally hit the floor.
Yeah, I of when Hef goes up to hit, you know that she's getting ready to put it down.
And that one looked like Bowie got underneath it just a bit. And now a timeout called by the Crimson Storm. The Rattlers have taken the lead here in set number 4. We'll see if they can hold off the Storm when we return on the Rattler Network. And welcome back, everyone. 14-10, the Rattlers have built the lead here in the 4th set. Good pass there on Martinez. Here's Holman, and she's sent back. The solo block there by Taylor Jacobs, as the Crimson Storm look to battle their way back after that timeout. Here's Huber right up on the net and able to get it off the hands of the Crimson Storm player and out of play. Slaughter now checks into the game. Martinez will serve and Holman will head out. Good serve there by Victoria. And that one off of Hef's hands and onto the Rattlers side. And that has to be frustrating as a blocker. I mean, you feel like you're doing your job, you're getting your hands on the ball, but then it just kind of, the way it bounces just isn't in your favor.
Yeah, you know, sometimes as a blocker, just because of the pace of the game, you're not in the right position to really get your feet set in a position where you can go up in the right position and press back into the court. Sometimes you're just too far off the net because of the pace of the game.
15-13, that one sent back, and a lift going to be called on Slaughter, who is kind of just in the wrong place at the wrong time right there. And now just a 1-point difference here in the 4th set. Good pass there. Here's Huber. And you can just tell by the run-up sometimes by Kelsey when she's playing with her confidence and she's really swinging away freely.
Yeah, that's the power that I love to see from Huber. I feel like that's her signature power. That's her signature style of play. A lot of intensity and a lot of power behind her hits.
And the thing about those hits is it kind of just sets up the rest of her game. She can always go back to those power hits if she wants, but because the other teams have to respect that power, she's then able to play the other more precise shots, I suppose.
She's a very diverse player, not only in her skill set, but also in her intensity as a leader and her intelligence as a hitter. You know, she is very knowledgeable of the game, and I think that her being a senior this year, it's going to be some big shoes to fill for the freshmen coming in and the recruiting class that the coaches are trying to get right now.
They caught a Crimson Storm player in the net. The Rattlers' lead increases to 2. Here's Huber on to serve. Top spin right there. Dug out by Martinez. Here's Slaughter. And it's called a tip by the head official. And St. Mary's the lead now at 3. Huber the serve, and too much on that one as she misses the line. 18-16 now, and if you're the Rattlers, this is not the time for unforced errors. Here's Paul. Out of bounds. And the deficit now just cut to 1. 18-17. And Kayleen, you said earlier on, because the Crimson Storm, they already played a match today, you could see the effects of some fatigue possibly towards the 4th or 5th set. Have you seen any indications of that quite yet, or not really?
I think right now, just watching the Crimson Storm from the first match to this match, I think their communication has broken down a little bit. That might be leftover frustration from the first match against Lubbock Christian. I think if they fought through that, they would be putting up more of a fight in this match. Not to say that they're not fighting right now, but I definitely think that communication has broken down on their end.
Well, 18-18, we're tied in set number 4. We'll be back after this quick commercial break. And welcome back, everyone. We're squared away at 18 apiece. St. Mary's trying to force a set number 5. Southern Nazarene University trying to close out this match. Slaughter able to get that one down, and St. Mary's gets the point off of their timeout. They now lead by 1, just 6 away from taking their second set of the match. Slaughter now back to serve. Here's Matthews taking a swing. Holman now. And Lauren Holman able to get it down. And so St. Mary's out of the timeout, getting a quick 2 points and putting themselves in very good position here. And that one out of play, the point to the Rattlers. And another timeout called for the Crimson Storm. We'll take the break with them here on the Rattler Network. And welcome back, everyone. Slaughter back to serve once again. 21-18, the Rattlers leading here in set number 4. Here's Matthews taking a swing, and it's dug out by Guthrie, setter out. And Grace will send it back over. And What's the call right there? What's the violation?
A lift.
A lift, okay. I didn't see it quite right. I thought a lift was, well, here's Slaughter back to serve again. Attacking from the back row and finding the floor. Good job by Taylor Jacobs as the Crimson Storm able to finally end the Rattlers streak. St. Mary's was able to run off 4 points in a row right there. Here's Holman, she's sent back. And another one for the Crimson Storm. It's now a 2-point match. Here's Matthews back to serve. Jenna Paul. And the call is out, and St. Mary's will get the point there. St. Mary's now within 2 of taking this set. Here's Shikatano back to serve. That one off the net, dug out by Paul. Here's Holman. Shikatano setters out. Here's Jenna Paul now. Good push right there. Setter out again. Heft tries to send it over. Martinez will take control now. And that one just out of play. St. Mary's 1 point away from forcing a set number 5. Here's Shikatano back to serve. Matthews, good pass. That one met at the net by Holman. Heft, she'll try to send it over. Here's Huber now. And St. Mary's does it. They force a set number 5. It'll be the second time in 2 nights that St. Mary's will go the distance. We'll bring you the decisive set number 5 when we return on the Rattler Network. And welcome back, everyone. A decisive set number 5 for the second night in a row for the Rattlers. And Kayleen, another thing we talked about, mistakes magnified in these fifth sets. Seeing as how the games, they only go to 15 points. So you really have to make sure that you're on top of your game at all times.
Yeah, in the fifth set, whoever makes the least amount of errors is probably going to come out on top.
Shikatano back to serve for the Rattlers. And a good start right there. Holman and Heft combining for the highlight play right there. Rattlers jumping out to the early lead. Shikatano serving a bullet right there. That one dug out by Huber. Martinez gets over there. Huber just barely getting it over the net. And Southern Nazarene takes advantage right there. Squared away, one apiece. Elise Berlin back to serve now. That one off the tape. She is fortunate that one got over. And Chicatano just sent it over on the second touch. And that one finds the floor. 2-1 now for the Crimson Storm. I feel like Chicatano kind of telegraphed that one by her shoulders, kind of showed her hand that she was going to go on ahead and just send it over on the second touch.
Yeah, whenever you jump the ball as a setter, you want to make sure that it's very convincing that you're actually going to set your hitters. So normally when you set, you're never going to set over your shoulder, but when you dump and you're going to the middle of the court, that's when you're going to drop your inside shoulder.
Holman able to get that one on over. Here's Heft now. That one might have gone out of play, but better safe than sorry if you're the Crimson Storm. Here's Holman now. And we've been seeing it all game. Tooling once again. St. Mary's now trailing by just one, and it'll be Jenna Paul back to serve. Here's Paul. Sent back, Holman. You can see the enthusiasm on her face. It's something you love to watch. And this is something we don't usually see, is it Heft and Paul on the floor at the same time. Usually they're subbing in and out for each other.
Yeah, it looks like they are having Jenna play outside defense, and then when she gets to the front row, she plays right side.
And then Chicatano will be setting as per usual. I wonder if we'll see Tori come in for Heft, possibly. And Holman just put that one into the net. And it's a point for the Crimson Storm. Here's Bell now back to serve. And Holman just barely able to get over to that one. And out of bounds. Oh no, it's called in. Beg your pardon, so sorry. Point for the Crimson Storm right there. Here's Huber. Playing it short and able to get the point. And another thing about Huber that makes her really effective, that approach looks so similar, but from when she's going to be aggressive with her hits or from when she's going to play short.
Yeah, her approach is the same every time, which is great as a hitter. The only thing that changes is her hand, and that's at the last minute, so it makes her very hard to read.
That one, Martinez digs it out. Here's Huber now. And I believe the Crimson Storm players were saying that one was off the pole, but the referee is saying otherwise, and the Rattlers back in the driver's seat with the 6-5 lead. Here's Martinez now. Good serve. Matthews And it looks like Martinez and Paul had a hard time deciding who would take the ball right there. Substitutions now for the Crimson Storm. Emily Dick will be subbing in. Danny Chase will be heading out. Here's Huber. Oh, the cross-court shot. And she put a little bit of arc on that one to make sure it got over the blockers as well.
Yeah, I think she was trying to get her away from the tooling, which has been a big part of this match. And she saw that the corner spot was open on the opposite side of the net. And normally you don't do a two-handed push as a hitter, but I think that's what she needed to do to get the ball there.
Guthrie and Grace checking in. Here's Huber. Bit off the net with the set right there. Slaughter now. And off the hands of the Crimson Storm and out of play. 8 points on the board for the Rattlers, and now we'll switch sides. Remind you, only playing to 15 in this fifth and final set. We remind you, Rattler fans, if after the conclusion of this game, make sure to check out Rattler Network 2, Women's Soccer. They're opening up their season over there. Brian Magluyuan is on the call. It's a very exciting time of the year. You're filling your way back into school, and now sports starting up. It's starting to feel like everything's coming together.
I couldn't agree more. I've been waiting for this since the end of the school year last year.
Good swing there by Matthews as she's able to put another one on the board for the Crimson Storm. Pyatt now back to serve. Oh, and the ace right there for Pyatt. I think Slaughter and Paul miscommunicated right there. If you're Jenna Paul, that's one where you kind of have to go ahead and take control as you're the backline player. Here's Slaughter. And it'll be a free ball for the Rattlers. It's Huber playing the tip. Bell's right there. And that one mishit by Bowie, and the Rattlers regain the lead. Here's Huber back to serve. Good pass by Matthews. Bowie trying to get the point back, but it's sent away. Slaughter doing an excellent job right there. Here's Paul now. Tried to go cross court once again, and I think you see her talking to Guthrie right there saying, hey, go ahead and put that one a bit more outside for me. We're tied at 9-9 now. Here's Matthews with the serve. Paul now. And that one out of play. And St. Mary's, good timeout here by Coach Warmack Chipman, you think?
I think it's a good decision. I think her team needs to take a step back, regroup, figure out what they need to do to get these next 6 points.
Well, 10-9 in favor of the Crimson Storm. We'll have the conclusion of this match when we return on the Rattler Network. And welcome back, everyone. 10-9. The advantage for the Crimson Storm. Matthews back to serve again. Floater right there, handled by Martinez. Here's Slaughter taking a swing. And that one dug out by Huber. Here's Grace now. Matthews able to dig it out. Dug out by Martinez now. Here's Grace again. Dug out by Matthews once again. Oh, and a miscommunication. That's one of those ones where neither player took control of the point.
Yeah, miscommunications have absolutely killed the Crimson Storm tonight.
Here's Slaughter back to serve now. Good serve there by Slaughter. And it's put down, however. A good kill by Emily Crawford. So we'll see Slaughter now head to the bench. Martinez will head back in. Danny Chase back to serve. And the tip by Holman somehow manages to find the floor. Chickatano and Heft will check back in for Guthrie and Grace. Rachel Chickatano back to serve now. Top spin right there. And a bit of a mistimed jump. Holman, she's on the floor, and teammates trying to get the ball up over top of her. Huber able to dig it out. Chickatano takes control. A free ball for the Crimson Storm. This one met at the net, dug out by Martinez. Here's Heft now, and a double touch is called on Chickatano. Crimson Storm are ahead by 1. Good pass there by Paul. Here's Holman. And Paul and Chickatano both went for that one. And another timeout here for Coach Warmack Chipman. And Kayleen, this has been a very close game. Back and forth. Which player, in your opinion, for the Rattlers do you think has to step up here in this 5th and final set?
I would say that our defense in general kind of needs to step up. We saw Jenna Paul and Melissa have kind of get out of system. They're not used to being in the front row together. So you saw at the last minute have to force herself to go outside, and Jenna took the right side, and then they automatically switched back after the play was over. I think communication needs to be solid in these next couple of points. I think Chickatano needs to step up and take control and tell her hitters where they're going, what they're doing, and how they're going to execute this play.
Well, it's a very, very close match for certain. Elise Berlin back to serve. It'll be Jenna Paul taking the serve. And Paul now swinging away. This one blocked and sent back. Good job by the Rattlers there. Here's Holman now using the left hand. That one blocked, but off the Rattlers to the floor it goes. Courtney Bowie able to get the point there. And now match point for the Crimson Storm. Here's Berlin's serve. And I think Martinez couldn't decide whether she thought it was out or in. And as a result, the Crimson Storm get the point and the match. Kayleen, another tough one here for the Rattlers. They're able to force a 5th set, but not able to come out with the victory. However, they will be back in action tomorrow against UTPB. Is this kind of just the growing pains of the early season?
I think that the past 2 nights against Lubbock Christian and against Southern Nazarene, the Rattlers have been very evenly matched, and they've played very hard. They've played a lot harder than I've actually seen them play in previous seasons. It seems like they have the mindset this year. They have the determination and the drive all together as a team. You know, I think making it to the conference tournament last year and not having a good showing there has forced them to really want to get better and to have a very strong showing this season. So I'm very excited to see what they have in store for them.
And you see the 2 teams gathering for an after-game prayer right there. Well, we'll be back in action tomorrow. A noon start time for the Rattlers as they will be going up against the University of Texas Pueblo State. Be sure to go on ahead and tune into women's soccer right now. They're still in the first half. And that game you can find on Rattler Network number 2. For Kayleen Zelznak, from myself, Joe Rodriguez. Take care, everyone.